Welcome to Our Roots Run Deep. Join us this week as we delve into the history of our small farm, share our current spring activities, and discuss our preparations for the upcoming farmers market. We are Pete and Donna Adams. We are excited to emphasize our commitment to growing clean food while preserving our family's farming legacy and being a good steward of all that the Lord has given us. Our family legacy traces back to the early 1900s with both my great-grandfather and grandfathers. My maternal grandparents were Marion Washington Calhoun and Ethel Estelle Vassey Calhoun, who owned this beautiful 46-acre farm in North Carolina. He cultivated a variety of crops including corn, tomatoes, cotton, and also operated a dairy that supplied most of the milk for the local community. The barn that you see depicted in this picture is one that Grandpa Calhoun constructed. It remains intact to this day, and you will note that this is the logo we use for all of our packaging. Census records from 1910 show that my great-grandfather on my father's side was a farmer as well, with 12 children assisting him on the farm. His son, my grandfather, J. Gilbert Rhodes, married my grandmother, Leela Meldonia Hill Rhodes, and together they had 4 children who also contributed to the farming efforts. My father, William Alexander Rhodes, continued the family tradition of farming but had to begin working full-time in the textile industry to provide for our family. As you can imagine, farming was not a lucrative profession. One of the many crops that my dad excelled at was tomatoes. We always looked forward to enjoying fresh tomatoes each summer, and it seemed that no one could cultivate them quite like he did. Mom would preserve or freeze any surplus, and we would rely on those through the winter. Now, we personally love to can our own pizza sauce, spaghetti sauce, and the basic canned tomatoes that we can use later for any dish that requires canned tomatoes. So it is no surprise that we commenced with starting over 100 tomato plants this year from seed. However, not all of these will be planted here. Many will be taken to our local farmers market to share with friends and family. So today's objective was to transplant these tomatoes into larger containers in preparation for the upcoming market. The remainder will be kept for ourselves, and we will plant those in a week or two. When we moved here 5 years ago, we started with 2 small raised beds, which eventually expanded to 4 and then 6. And last year, we turned a new section at the bottom of our 1+ acre property into a new garden space. So the area that you just saw on the video with us plowing up this area here behind me, I wanted to share a little bit about what's going on there now in the spring. So last summer we planted corn, okra, a handful of tomatoes, and pumpkins. Everything did really, really well here except for the tomatoes. And this was our first year using this area, so we knew that it was going to need a lot of amendment. So in the fall, I planted a cover crop. We did some rye and some clover, and then we just tarped this last week. So we're going to keep this tarp on here for 2 weeks, and then my husband will plow that up again, and then we have some compost that we're going to bring in to try to build this area up. So we'll see. I don't remember my dad ever doing a cover crop, and I have no idea what my grandfathers did, but I've read a lot about it, and hopefully that's going to replace some of the nutrients that are missing down here. We're also going to add some things like bone meal whenever we do go to set out our tomato plants. So this is an area I'd really like to do well with tomatoes, since I'm wanting to plant 20+ tomatoes. In addition to the numerous vegetables, microgreens, and other fruits and vegetables that we grow and sell at the market, we have also launched our own line of seasonings. Store-bought seasoning packets contain fillers, flavor enhancers, sodium, and many other unhealthy ingredients. We now offer our own line of seasoning packets, all made from 100% organic spices that we source in bulk from Azure Standard. We hope that this week's video will inspire you to start a garden this year. There is no time like the present. It does not have to be big. Start small and work your way up. Have a great week.